Welcome back from that break. And if you're just joining us, you're watching CRBC TV, a station that is designed with a lot of interesting programs to educate, entertain, and to keep you informed on happenings around the world. You watch His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State riding the city of Obudu, inspecting the German hospital. And we must say, well done and congratulations, Your Excellency, for all you've been doing for us, the good people of Cross River State. Moving forward now to discuss on the itineraries of Cross River State is the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Cross River State, in person of Honorable Erasmus Ekpang. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You're chopping up.
Amen.
What has been happening? Ministry of Information, Cross River State, and all of that.
Yeah, a lot has been happening. Our work is the work basically is actually to, tell the story the way it is, add more value to the state and then showcase positive values to the world of what the state is doing. And so far, so good. I've been up and doing. I've been around in national televisions and all that. I've been trying my best to actually disseminate the information so far and tell the story of how His Excellency Senator Prince Bassado is doing well, and then trying to rebuild Cross River State in total. And then the big one is renovating of the Chronicle edifice, and I think it's going to be a very new look soon because renovations are ongoing. Just about that, yeah.
Okay, sir. I watched you in Abuja during the anniversary of Calabar Carnival. Tell us about that.
That's a good one. Where it's always, for Calabar Carnival, it's the biggest street party in Africa. It's one of the best products sold out of Africa. And of course, Cross River State, we run the Carnival Commission as a country. Besides that, we have about the longest route carnival in the world also and all that. So we needed to actually make the world understand that a lot is happening in Cross River State, Calabar, because of this Carnival Calabar. And then we had to actually open it up in Abuja, where we needed the world to see what we're doing. And I believe strongly that going forward, most other teams, would actually be revealed or unveiled outside the country. It's better that way, so that we actually tell what is happening here. We actually tell people what it is, what we gain, what we have, doing Carnival in Cross River State. So it was a big one, and the highlights of that occasion was, for the first time in my life, I was seeing 3 governors of Cross River State, past and present, together, regardless of party affiliations. It means that this tourism team has really brought Cross Riverians together, and a lot of people are so passionate about it. So you can see the lines of dignitaries to even the national chairman of the APC was there and all that. So it was well publicized and also at the same time well attended. It added more value to the state, Cross River State. We are being talked about everywhere in the world at the moment.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, you do agree with me that May 29, 2025 happens to be our governor's 2 years in office. Let's take you back memory lane. What has been happening in Cross River State in this administration?
A lot has been happening. Not much to talk about. It's only a blind man that cannot actually see the transformation going on in Cross River State. We look at the hospital, the health sectors, where more than about 80 primary health cares have been innovated. Yesterday I took a tour of some projects that His Excellency had actually completed and ongoing. And we actually saw 1 or 2 health centers in Anantika that has been well equipped and is doing very well. And then at the same time, the Saka building here, we have digitalized most of our health issues. We deployed drones to remote areas. And then apart from that, we're doing a general hospital in Ekpang local government, where it's built from scratch and all that. The security, of course, we know Calabar is where you've not heard even a sound of knockout for a long time. We're very, very safe. We're one of the safest states in the country, and at the same time, I think even for the armed robbers or the kidnappers or the bad people, I think Calabar is known for them, as a vacation point where they would actually drop their guns to come and rest, and no violence besides that, we're aware that His Excellency not only refurbishing and renovating edifices and buildings of military and all that, the road safety, civil defense, police and all that, for that seamless relationship, has also gone ahead to aid them with vehicles, trucks and all that, to see that their work is seamless. And then we look at the agricultural sector where the project grow, a lot of things are happening. We are doing a lot of we expected 108 tractors yesterday, at the same time about 200 spiral bikes for extension officers, and at the same time a lot of farm roads are under construction to actually allow easy access to major roads with farm produce, where we can actually be food sufficient and even sell out. A lot of soils up to like 5,000 hectares have been cleared and done at the urban liquages for wheat production, knowing that wheat stepped down a bit because of this Ukraine Russia war and many other very lofty projects. We are aware that His Excellency consolidating on the gains of the former administration. We have been able to recover back the Tinapa, the Dancer farm, some of our oil palms. At the same time, we had the geophysical technical survey of the deep sea port, where we have 6 Navy ships that have gone there. Of course, we know, boosting our economy in Cross River State, we are geographically closer to the China and the Gulf of Guinea. So it's going to be very easy for us to actually employ our woods and make Cross River State very viable. So we're looking at Cross River State from where people got it. There are issues of potholes everywhere, dustbins and all that. So where we are today, where most of those things are almost disappearing. So imagine Cross River State, if the deep sea port started working, Mr. President came to break down the SAP, the processing issue, where our farm produce would actually be exported, that will be selling in dollars and pounds here. Imagine Cross River State next 3 years. So I think many other things, even in the information sector, you understand, he had encouraged myself here as commissioner to upscale this CRBC, and at the same time renovating the Chronicle edifice, the cultural center in Sunday, we visited and inspected it. And then the government houses is wearing a look like where a governor should stay. And make you understand that His Excellency today is still actually living in his own house. He's about the only governor in the 36 states that is living in his house, because he is a natural leader. He is somebody who has christened his time for the people's first matter. So most of our projects and policies are actually based on those projects that will touch that common man, the Gary seller, the mango seller, because you see good roads, you see solar lights, you see traffic lights, you enjoy them, not programs that are
in the
based on trying to yes, at least so far they're not to be very frank, not really all local government have been touched about, maybe 3 or 4, but I tell you almost all, from the north, the south, the central. You pick these metropolitan cities first, you try to make them okay, and then go around. Like 3 weeks ago, Commissioner for Works had come down even to my local government bouquet to actually hold a stakeholder meeting for us to actually say our priority, scale of preference, what do we need the earliest, and we have already given you already. Machines and tractors have already landed the Bukis West Road, and by the grace of God, we're going to start work anytime soon. Same as Obubra and Itun local government, where they started in Etome already in Itun. So I think so far he has done very well, and not even just that, his character himself, he has been able to win the confidence of the people. People believe in Cross River State. I was in the villa on Thursday, and a lot of dignitaries, people I watch on TV, I've never seen, were actually telling me that man is doing very well. We see what he's doing. He's a good person. He's just a naturalist. And Madam Bishop Eyan introduced the Solemn Assembly. We are now a God state. Because before we start, it's God. A lot of very beautiful things. So if we allow him now, give him that time for another 8 years, by the grace of another 6 years to come, I believe by the grace of God, Cross River State will just be, return back to that paradise of Calabar, Cross River State, which we know very well. And all that. So I think so far so good in almost all sectors. I tell you the truth, he has done very well. And sometimes I wonder how he does it, because one would have said they would want to concentrate in 1 or 2 different ministries, but throughout all the ministries, to even the women affairs where they are introducing the boy-child issue, to even every aspect, aviation, we landed 2 projects that are waiting for Pepper's issue, and by the grace of God, we'll have our flight here that we'll start having flights from 7:15, 7:30. They'll be coming to at least sleep here before going, instead of all this mixing of flight schedules and all that. A lot of things he has done that I can't mention. Electricity, the same thing. We're even still expecting no lamps. If you see from here to Dupani Junction, has been light up. it was just one dark area. We travel and come in the night. You won't understand where you're going. But now you see those street lights from Odepane Junction straight 8 miles down and all that. You know, all these things were just done in a short frame. So I think it's not being psychophantic or very because I'm commissioner for information at all. You have even made my work very easy. I hardly talk. If you notice, I don't even bother talking because transparency is out there. After every meeting, I come out to talk and tell the people what we have happened. And then in the next 1 week, 2 weeks, you see those machines on ground working. My principal never says what he can do, and it's not very emotional or sentimental in just promising what he can do. He tells you to your face that this is not achievable now, this is achievable now, let's do this now. So it's time by time, and I think that's done very well.
And like from what you said, we do agree with the fact that government needs continuity.
Yeah.
And like I always say, it's our duty to keep the people informed on what they should know. Honorable Commissioner for Information, what is the stage of Obudu International Cargo Airport?
We bet you that somewhere around 70%. And I think so far, with the same statement of trying to consolidate on the former governor's gains, we are taking it up to about 90%. And of course, you know, we are partnering with some international firms, and to some extent, most times you have a time frame to complete a project, but you have some very little challenges. But I think very soon that project will be done and dusted.
We've been having questions in, but I think we'll take just a question, then we'll now invite children, because children today happens to be 27th of May. Children are being celebrated around the world. And Commissioner, the question we are going to take is just one, like I said before. And the question is, what is the stage of spaghetti flyover in Cross River State?
We didn't initiate spaghetti flyover.
It was the past administration.
Yes.
And
so far we had looked at the Tinapa that was past administration and sometime got moribund. We had looked at the dancer farm. We had looked at the oil palms. We had looked at the Obudu Cargo Airport. We had looked at the deep sea port that were not initiated by the
German hospital.
So the German hospital, you saw the inspection, His Excellency had gone to inspect. So I think gradually.
And with the flyover here?
Yeah, I think gradually we'll get there, but it's just 2 years, for crying out loud.
Okay.
It's just 2 years. You're coming into a state you are just trying to renovate. Even if you have your house, after 10, 15 years you renovate it. That's why the government house, governor's office were renovated. So I think when we get to that flyover, we will talk about it, because I can't talk for my principal. I speak with him before saying anything out to the public.
Okay, but before the 4 years is being completed, yes, something will be done with the flyover.
No, I can't say that. I'm not him. He will bring it up to the ESCO, we deliberate. But we have not talked about, we had rather talked about a flyover in a Fiete, MCC roundabout, to the mobile axis, mobile by MC. We have talked about that, and I think in the next few episodes, that will come. And I tell you, while my principal most times is out there, he's trying to get this person out there, because we hadn't broken time. We were trying to see people who would believe in us, like we're buying confidence to come and see how this, project thrives.
Okay, on a day like this,
so we're not talking about the flyover. Spaghetti.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, Commissioner, if you're made to say a word of advice to His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State in moving the state forward, what will you say?
Yeah, I want to commend him that he has done so well, and I want to encourage him to do more, because when you're being given an award or praised, it's for you to do more. I want to pray that God will continue to, keep him that focus, good health, to, turn this state around totally. His Excellency is very passionate about Cross Riverians, and his intention is to turn Cross River State to that, look at other states, look at their continuity, look at Akwa Ibom that we gave birth to. You understand what I'm saying? We're trying to beat that by the grace of God. So I think encouragement I would always give him, and tell him that we're strongly behind him.
Okay, before we let you go, or before we take a break for the children to come join us celebrate their day in the studio, I would like to ask, what are the challenges faced in office, and what do you think should be the way forward here?
My office?
Yeah, as a Commissioner for Information.
The challenges, one of the challenges, my staffs, they are doing very well, but the office was without a Commissioner for Information for about 3 years. So there's that relaxed of not really coming out to work on time. I work with a very few. We have staff strength, very low.
What should be the way forward here?
Yeah, of course, gradually we're going to employ. We're looking at, we don't want to employ where we can't pay. We're not used to be known for people that can't pay salaries. So I've discussed with His Excellency, we're going to work on that. So that's basically my major problem. For any other thing, I think His Excellency has so encouraged me in my ministry.
Okay, this is more or less like a personal question.
Yeah.
What will you say is your synergy with your permanent secretary?
Beautiful. She's a wonderful lady that had come to add so much spice in the Ministry of Information. You know, she's elegant, she's stylish, she has swag. So she's added the swag to the ministry, and I think we're moving very well. Yeah, everybody, you know, even if it's husband and wife, brothers, sisters, first few days you want to study yourself, but there's no way I traveled out that it means that you go one or two personal, I don't go with that. So I have a very wonderful relationship.
Today happens to be the 27th day of May 2025, World Children's Day celebration. How is it like to hear?
Beautiful. I remember my days as a child. I remember that days like this are very special. My stockings. I was in the band where I was I think the leader, the stick, whatever, and all that. So I feel a bit sorry, I would say, for children these days.
They don't practice all of that.
They don't practice that because of maybe the way the country has turned insecurity and all that. Those days were very free. The driver would just drop off at the stadium and would do anyhow. But now we check our kids. I don't even know where my children are right now. Maybe they've gone to their own private school. It's not that, whatever. So for children, it's a great day for them. I wish them the best. And I pray that they are able to overturn the mistakes we have done as leaders for now, because they are actually the futures of tomorrow. So for them, they can actually start building now. Because when you look at the Michael Jackson, you look at the Beyonce and all that, I think they started about 6, 7, 8 years. So it's not too late for a child to actually say, I want to be a good carpenter and I'm going to change the structures of a lot of things. I'm a good architect. It must not be it could be a musician.
Well, as parents,
it could be a footballer.
I wanted to come to that because parents are always advising their kids to become lawyers, doctors, and all of that.
No. My son plays ball very well. He plays well. I buy balls for him. I drop him in the stadium. He plays. He's just 10 years, almost 11. And I'm planning a lot for him. Though he's going to school, but I know that even out there he will go to school. So we had seen it all. The medical doctors, what did I really study? See me, I'm Commissioner for Information today. So I think it's God's grace and to be good in what we are doing, because even the carpenters, the clothers, they tell us, seamstress. If you focus your mind that you want to be a clother, you want to be a baker and all that, how much is a cake today? How much do you make clothes? You see them living larger than even the white collar jobs that you want to, you understand.
What's your message to parents out there on a day like this?
They should always continue to love their children and be very careful with the kind of words they tell their children. They should always encourage their children and make their children understand and believe that they'll be greater than them.
I've been speaking with the Honorable Commissioner for Information Trust, River State, Honorable Erasmus Ekpang. I believe